What culture?
With Dragon Ball XenoVerse, the 15th home console beat-em-up installment of the series, Bandai Namco have looked to collect everything that makes the series great and roll it into one definitive Dragon Ball experience. So without further ado, here are 10 reasons why you need to play Dragon Ball XenoVerse. At number 10, the nostalgia trip. Seriously, our inner children were screaming the house down straight from the intro cinematic. The game as a whole is an amazing nostalgia trip for anybody who ever held even a passing love for the Dragon Ball franchise. At number 9, the visuals. There's always a fine line graphically that's pretty easy to cross when animated franchises make the jump onto home consoles, and it'll either end up looking great or it'll look really cheap. While they're nothing game-changing, the graphics in Dragon Ball XenoVerse are pretty damn impressive. Definitely a faithful translation. There hasn't been any bending of the style to fit the 3D universe, the shading is spot on, and the characters are being gracefully converted up a dimension without any horrible redesigns. And that's good enough for us. At number 8, the world. Being able to fly about freely and use a scouter to locate enemies sounds like a pretty simple request for a Dragon Ball game, but it's a really nice little feature. Definitely something that's been taken from the series and nicely realised in the game. It's just one of the many things that'll have fans grinning from ear to ear as they play. 7. Online battle mode. Online modes on most beat-em-ups can be really frustrating, and if you're not a particularly adept player, this is going to be no different for you initially. But if you enjoy a challenge, given the free roam aspect of each battle, XenoVerse is a lot of fun. At number 6 is the story. So the story focuses around some sinister individuals going back through time in order to change key events in the Dragon Ball universe. So it's up to you, alongside Trunks of course, to go back through a mountain of key events from each of the franchise's sagas and make sure they turn out the way they were originally supposed to. It's a great catch-up for those that maybe weren't into the series way back in the day, and a brilliant nostalgia trip for the rest of us. At number 5, create a character. We can't stress enough how amazing it was to play as our very own character within the Dragon Ball universe. We've had the ability earlier in the series with Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi, but this time it was just beyond epic. Sure, you're kinda limited as to what equipment you can initially start with, and you'll have to work hard to get some of the more iconic clothing and gear, but as you progress and start picking up steam, it's a great answer to a long-held fantasy that many of the fans have been harbouring for quite some time. At 4, the speed of it all. The speed of the general fighting aspect of the game is spot on. While it can be a little disorientating to begin with, you do get used to fighting in a fully accessible field. But how fast is it? Well, it's hardly full-on floating over Namek throwing punches at the speed of light, but it's certainly fast. At number 3, the little things. It might sound funny to mention it, and it might sound like it's a bit par for the course, but things like facial animations during each fight actually exist this time out, and a lot of detail's gone into realising the world of not just Toki Toki City, but the universe as a whole. As long-time fans of the series, we'd often get excited whenever we found little references, and each location feels exactly how we remember it feeling in show. 2. Language options. The ability to switch audio tracks to Japanese is also one of those little touches, but we feel it's important enough to merit its own mention. While it's certainly something geared a little bit more toward the hardcore fans of the franchise, it's still a great thing nonetheless. And hey, their mouths finally match up to the audio track. And at number 1, we absolutely love this next feature. It's the feature of having a master. As you progress through the game, you get given the choice of a master from a range of classic Dragon Ball enemies and allies. It's a really cool system, as while you develop your own skills, you learn particular combos, patterns and techniques from your master. So you end up with this mishmash of classic Dragon Ball and your very own fighting style. All in all, it's a game that the fans of the series are going to absolutely love, and it's a really good jumping on point for those who maybe aren't that into it, but have always wanted to give it a try.